the funny thing is, right, I've heard the story so many times and I've watched it so many times. I can't think of a better way of describing him bar his name. Because every single report will tell you, push the black man off the train. And, it's like...
Is that his name, though?
It's
the black man.
Mr. Black Man.
The black man,
Yeah.
And it's like, it just like, he's just a colour.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, the black was pushed off the train.
Let's be honest. Most black people referred to in the media are the black man.
That's right. And I'm sick of it.
Unless you're Denzel Washington or
Yeah,
something like that.
There you are.
Barack
And
Obama.
I think if they want to really tackle the issue, you need to actually appreciate what you're dealing with. The man happens to be black in skin colour. Give him a name. If you're going to say it's the push the black man off the train, give him a name. You can't just give it. Every single report says the black man, the black man, the black man. And before you know it, the kids will be discussing it in their schools. You see when they push that black man off the train?
Yeah.
What's his name? And give him, humanise him.
Humanising.
If all those lynchings that took place back in the day, right, the Strange Fruit song that Billie Holiday sung about, if each person that was lynched had a name and was identified with a name, and at the bottom of the article or the picture, they told you the person's name. Surely it would affect the amount of people that were being lynched and stuff. We need to appreciate that we are individuals.
That's right.
We're not just a colour. And, this is the thing, you see. When you're an American, you're an American. Unless you are black, then you're an African American.
That's right.
You see, so we have to start appreciating the fact that people aren't colours. They are people. And they have a name, and what happened was the supporters of Chelsea, who were there watching Chelsea play against PSG, who also in Chelsea's football team have black players that do incredibly well for the team, decided to stop this man whose name is a real name, a person, from coming on the train. So the article needs to be written, and the reporters have to take the time not to be lazy when they're reporting about people. Because they wouldn't say, oh yes, the president got shot. They mention his name. And, the truth of the matter is the president is no greater or no less than an individual in this world. They just make up the numbers too. So we need to respect it.
I'm Googling it as you speak. Because I did read an article about the black man saying that he would like these guys to go to prison. But I've probably got 30 links here, and every single one of them refers to the black man. I wanted to give this man a name.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find it.
But that's it's just another thing to divide, isn't it?
Yes.
For me, the sad issue is, and I think it ties in with what ZeN is about, is not the fact that the Chelsea guys won't let him on. It's the fact that in the film you didn't see anybody step in and say, hold on a minute.
That was your reaction initially, wasn't it?
Sorry for interrupting you, but that's beautiful. Keep talking.
That's for me. That's the issue.
100%.
That's the issue. And
I
that could have been somebody on the train. That could have been even the guy. Put your phone down and go and help the guy. That's for me. That's the issue. And that just shows for me what the human race are like. If you go back through history, even if you didn't commit the crime, you're just as bad as the people committing the crime if you didn't do anything.
You're complicit.
If you look at the people, Nazi Germany, I've lived in Berlin and I know, elderly that said to me, we didn't agree with it, but you didn't speak about it. What are you scared of? You're just as bad as the people doing it. And so for me, persecute all of the people on the train. Persecute all the people on the platform because you all stood and watched it. And if we all do that in life, where are we going to get?
I love that.
Yeah,
But linking on from what we're saying is, that links on to what we're saying. We can't stand by and watch this happen in the world.
Exactly.
We are them people on the train.
Just as bad.
Exactly. We are complicit in the problem to this if we don't stand up now. And say this, regardless of how many people don't. Unless we stand up now and say, this can't happen anymore. We are on the train with them brothers.
Exactly.
When this is edited, I want people to know that I told Chevalier to say exactly I said that.
You are a regular guest.
To be fair, you did tweet. That was your tweet response.
It's true.
It was.
Really?
It was a tweet response.
But I've got to say exactly what Chevalier said. 100%. How can you sit there just watching it all? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. See, I'm the type of person, you see, that well, I wouldn't have probably come home. Because I would have said, nah,
me too.
You're not coming on that train.
Yeah, me
you're
too.
getting on it, and I would have stood with
the amount of people who's told me about situations I've interjected in on trains and stuff.
Yeah.
I've continually lived in my time.
You've got to.
I am the continual person where people say, yeah, what about your own safety? I think to myself, my safety? I couldn't live with myself if I left somebody in my head. I remember being on a tube. Some girl was having trouble down there, so I'd go and sit down there near them just to ruffle them up a bit. You know, some guy was saying to me afterwards, went, woof. Oh yeah, not sure about that. He said, yeah, I was on the train not long ago and I saw some girl having a bit of trouble with some guys. I just got off and went, I said, you shame on you, my brother. How can you live with yourself if you let that other human being? I'd rather take some licks for him. I'd rather say, listen, you're not taking licks on you and I'll take some with you. But then, you know, you can't leave them.
Sorry.
I'm just reading this. What about the people who say that it wasn't a racist attack? A couple of people have said that this chant, which was we're racist, and that's the way we like it, was what they were chanting. They said the song was actually about John Terry. The only words they know of the song was he's a racist, because Terry was banned for 4 matches and fined 220,000 in 2012 for racially abusing.
Yeah, but that's defending the defend. You can't defend that because what it is.
And on top of that, a black woman saw what was happening. She just got off the train too. So what would you say to people like that?
The black woman come off the train too. I don't understand what the argument is. They want you off the train.
Yeah. So she's wise.
Me personally speaking, you should live in a world where you come on a train, you go off a train when you want to, regardless of your nationality, colour, etc. For them to say they're not racist, so they're singing a song in support of John Terry, who wasn't on the train. You see, so I don't. It's like saying I'm not racist, but I hate black people. But I'm not racist. It don't make no sense. So for me, right, if they want to defend themselves, in terms of not being racist, come forward and tell us how non-racist they were. We see the footage. One of the work places where one of the alleged racist people works at, I said to the kid, don't come back to work. He's suspended until further notice. Now, that's what you want.
Why didn't Chelsea do something like that?
Well, what Chelsea have done, Chelsea have actually banned 5 of them until further notice. Mourinho has apologised. They've also said to the black man, that he can come over to watch the return leg of the match. So
I bet he'd be happy to do that.
Gosh.
And then they will make sure that the tube is always available.
You will be fine.
Yeah, you can sit right in the middle of the stand.
Tell you what we'll do.
Yeah.
Ian with Combat 18. You're going to be fine. They'll look after you, brother. You're going to be fine. We can have a free ticket.
You see, there's an old prophet back in the day in the Bible, and he would say, if you did something wrong and you wanted to say you were sorry, he would say, offer up fruits worthy of repentance. And if you're sorry, what does it mean to be sorry?
Show it.
Because you can't do was it Body Love from the Nutty Professor? I'm sorry! Right? You can't do one of them.
Good impression.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I am Body Love. And what's another one? I am. But what you've got to do, you've got to show fruits that you really mean it. Yes. When Nicholas Anelka last year, this sort of time, was convicted for doing that racist salute, the Quinol, they threw the book at him. So they were saying, we're not going to stand for a man who's black doing something racist. We're going to throw the book at him. So likewise.
Yeah, and sorry to interject, but it's sensationalism, it's football to keep us brain dead. Because if you want to talk about the issue of racism, and you've got the platform of the news channels, then let's talk about the black people getting shot in America. You see? Because it's racism.
Oh yeah.
But it's on a whole nother level because it's police allegedly being racist. So if you want to talk about racism, I get that footballers doing it, but we expect that in football.
Yes.
You expect it. But let's tackle it on a higher level.
Yes.
And if they are gonna tackle it within Chelsea, then surely the leaders, John Terry, he was a captain when he was racist.
Yes.
What did he get? A couple grand fine, this and that,
Not even going to affect his pocket change.
Yeah, and then let's talk about his father, who has also been convicted of being racist.
Yes.
And then let's talk about what happens if you are racist. What does that really mean? Nothing. Nothing. You get a free pint in certain pubs in East London.
That's right.
It's bigger. It's a lot bigger. And racism has not been kicked out of football. And I'm sad to say, I don't think it ever will be. And it's more than a few T-shirts and a few footballers coming on for 2 minutes and talking about it.
Well, coming back to our original story about the kids, this paedophilia thing with people at the top, if they're not bothered about the babies, They're not going to be bothered about that, bro.
Exactly.
They're not bothered.
Exactly.
They don't care.
They just don't care enough.
Yeah.
Can we stick with the football story? Did you hear about Stan Collymore as well?
Yes.
Ex-footballer who lost his job as a
BT
pundit?
Sport.
What's he done this time?
No,
He's had a few chances,
He
but
was standing up though.
Yeah, he's had a fair few.
No, he was standing up this time.
Yeah, technically speaking, he was a pundit on BT Sport. He's also a pundit on Talk Sport, and he was talking about the racist, the racist or the sectarian chanting of the Rangers fans, Glasgow Rangers, and he was saying that really and truly that there needs to be more done. We need to stand against a team that does this, that allows this. That's what he was saying. Now, because there was like a media storm or Twitter storm about it, some were really kind of, because whenever Collymore speaks, he gets people who just speak out and stand against him, and then they start to mention his past, his violent past, and etc., etc. And that's the difficulty you see when you stand up for something. I remember I was on radio a few years ago, and somebody turned around and said, "Well, let's be honest. This man talking about standards and righteousness or whatever, but he's the same guy. Talking about me." Went through a level crossing, nearly killed all these children. Is this being recorded? And they mentioned it, right? And it's like, whatever you've done in the past will always be brought forward and mentioned against you, no matter what you're standing for now.
And how do you defeat that? How do you stand up against
Well,
that?
the problem you've got, you see, if you have to rely on them for your daily bread, you are afraid to upset the apple cart. If you don't care about them and what they can do to you, like for example, where's ZeN TV? So the reality is, the only people that can censor us is us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but somebody could turn around and say, well, no, they could actually pull you. Until they do that, we're going to keep broadcasting. And for me, you've got to stand for things you believe in. Everybody's done something wrong. Everybody's got a past.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, we've also got a present, and we must make our presence felt in every situation we find.
Amen.
If you was a racist beforehand and you've seen the light, you can't turn around and say, "Well, I can't stand up for this black man because I was a racist in the past." You stand for him because you've had this moment of clarity. And for me, I like Stan Collymore because he's a man that speaks from his heart. Don't necessarily agree with all what he says, but I admire the fact that he's got the guts to stand. Must be hard.
I find it interesting, the whole subject, because when I was 16, I went in the army. I was in the army for about 5-6 years, and for my sins, they sent me to a Scottish regiment. So I was the only black man amongst 6,000 Scottish guys. And these guys would get on well with each other all year. But the day it was Celtic against Rangers, they were sworn enemies.
That's
right.
And I just sit back and laugh about it. And I couldn't understand how, 1 minute you love each other, and this one Saturday year, they were hating each other. And then it's the same when I went to Northern Ireland with the army. You've got Irish people, and then you've got Protestants, and you've got Catholics. And it goes back to religion. And the sad thing is that some people have used this as a way to divide and for war. And it's very sad.
From history, bro.
Yeah, and it's sad how humans can be manipulated with things like football, religion, colour,
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
And it comes back to, we're not perfect. We're not perfect, but it's recognising that, admitting that the person I am today, the person I want to be, and the person I was is 3 different people.
100%.
Talk about not being perfect. There was the front page of the Daily Mail. I vowed I wouldn't discuss this, but David, you've got a different angle on the topic. Kate Middleton.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading the paper in the morning. They do every single morning, going through all the papers. Just came to it. She's got grey hair apparently coming through her roots.
No way.
Sit down, bro. Stop everything.
Front page of the Daily Mail.
Well, this just tells you what our media does.
That if they think that's that newsworthy of being anything other than just in the toilet.
Don't you understand that matters more than the kids that are dying in Syria?
That's my point.
The kids that are dying in Afghanistan. The droning of Pakistani villages. Their hair matters more.
The black man's name.
Yeah, but this is the point, right? This is the point we're making, is that this is what you're up against. So people say to you, what are you doing? I'll just say Kate Middleton's there, mate.
Had a bad day,
That's just it.
No,
Say no more. Say no more. Kate Middleton's hair.
It was actually because the reason is, though, for the record, because when you're pregnant, some women don't like to use products like, So she used natural products, which doesn't take as well.
Bless her.
Apparently, that's the reason.
But
there's that football chant, right, that comes to mind. Not the one about Beckham and his missus. Who are you? Who are you? I mean,
come on.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Daily Mail.
If that is the kind of world that the general public at large adhere to, what are we up against?
Well, how did her sister become famous?
My point.
Because of a derriere, basically. This is what made her prime news. And then she got a contract with Waitrose to do the food stuff, etc. like that. So,
but this is my point.
This shows you what the media is about.
This is the point. When we start talking this way, you start trying to say you're being controlled, or people who are conscious speak up and try to enlighten the people and try to say to you, look, this is happening around us. Can't you see what they are doing to us? We must stand against it. Nah, I'm alright, mate.
Yeah. It's all about dumbing down, and we're going to discuss that in a little while. Endemol is this topic